welcome. Please take seats. This looked like there was quite a bit of a line outside.
Yes. Welcome to the show. Find your seats.
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Please keep hands, feet, and all limbs inside the vehicle at all times.
Is that it? Are they here?
There's still people
still
trickling in here. They're coming on in.
Trickle.
I love trickle. I love to trickle. Yeah. I trickle every day. Every day I'm trickling.
Mando. Hello, Mando.
We appreciate your service.
I saw his face.
What?
What?
You didn't
Yeah.
see his
What?
face.
Yeah, his lady friend took his helmet off.
What?
Dishonored him right in front of me.
Lady friend? You can't just throw him under the bus
But
like that.
you know
He's got
what?
a clue.
Wow.
Hey, if I were as handsome as he is, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah, well, if I was as bubbly as sexy Kirby back there, I'd also be wearing fish nets.
Sexy
I really gotta go
Yeah.
get my fish nets from the laundry.
They just walked into a Victoria's Secrets and went, ooh!
You have to finish that sentence, right?
Yeah.
You did, because what you said was, oh, that is sexy.
We all had context. Man, you know what? It's nice. You know what I've enjoyed this weekend? I like seeing a lot of Soul Reapers back out there on the streets. Hell yeah, man. That is one of my all-time favorite manga, and it's so dope to see some of the gang back.
The Bonkai.
Yeah, I love Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
I've been reading through it for the first time, and I'm like just starting the Thousand Blood here.
Oh man.
Thousand Year Blood War arc, and it is.
Yeah. I have a fan theory that Bankai is actually just a sneeze, like they can't control it. Like in Japanese, they go, Bankai! It feels like a sneeze.
A lot of
Bless you.
in the Soul Society.
Wow, there's really still a lot of people coming in.
All right, does anyone besides me know the type of mushroom that is?
Yeah, red.
On this table?
It's a red mushroom.
No, it's a Needham muscarium. Get educated. The Vikings. That is typically a psychedelic
Is that the
mushroom.
Berserker?
It is.
Mushroom?
The Vikings would make a mushroom stew out of a Needham muscarium and have it in the early morning before they went into battle, and that's why they were known as the Berserkers, because they were just stoned out of their minds on
Why they were so
mushrooms.
fearsome.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know what was going on.
No. Just naked stoned Vikings.
You want to run into that person.
Yeah. This panel is just 90 minutes of this.
Naked Stone.
It's also brought to you by Vikings.
A lot of Miyazaki in the house tonight. Everybody quick, down the line, left or right. Favorite Miyazaki film. So let's go. KG.
What was the one with Christian Bale?
Howl's Moving Castle.
Spirited Away.
Yeah, I pick House. House also.
Yeah. Spirited Away.
The only Miyazaki I like is Dark Souls Miyazaki, baby. Elden Ring all the way. Yeah.
I thought for sure you were gonna say Porco Rosso. Is this it? Are we done? Are you guys ready to talk about some Jujutsu Kaisen? This is. Hi everyone. This is the first time, to my knowledge, that the five of us have been up on stage together. Is that correct?
I think that's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Is it?
First time.
No, I know which one you're thinking of, and KG wasn't there.
Yeah.
That's right, I was missing.
Yeah.
But we're here now.
Okay,
Welcome.
so-
This is the first time we've ever been together. We're so stoked to be here, guys. Let's go on down the line, starting with this handsome Jesus-looking guy to my right. Ray, let the nice people know who you are.
Hello, my name is Ray Chase. I play two characters in Jujutsu Kaisen because the real fans are here. You know me as Sukuna Ryomen, but also as Choso, best brother.
My name is Robbie. I'm a chipper guy in real life, but I played that real grumpy guy, Megumi Fushiguro. That's me. Look at that grumpster.
My name's Adam MacArthur. I'm into girls like Jennifer Lawrence. I also voice the best boy, Yuji Tadori.
I'm was best girl, no butter cookie sake.
And I'm KG Tang, and actually I voice best girl Satoruko.
This is the Squad Gang, and we are here to answer all of your questions for roughly the next hour 15 or so. Oh my gosh!
Hello, I am Steven. I am one of your Kumori-Con staffers and your panel moderator. Before we begin, just a warning, if you are very comfortable in your seat, you will have to give it up at 3 o'clock sharp. This room will be cleared after this panel.
Nothing says fun in a panel right before it starts like rules! Tell him, Steven, crack that whip, baby! Hey, we're gonna answer all your questions. Steven, I'm gonna tease you all day. We're gonna do something first though for you. Before we open up the floor, we are going to answer the top 3 panel questions of all time so you don't have to ask them. Are we ready for this, gang? You mind if I start this thing off? Ready? Hey, Tang, let me ask you a question, huh, bud?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is your ding-dang favorite role you've ever done?
My ding-dang favorite
Your
role?
favoriteest!
Oh, jeez. All right. So, when I was a little kid, all the way back in Shanghai,
This story's too long, right? Just kidding.
I read Doraemon when I was a little kid, right? A little robot blue cat from the future pulls stuff out of his pocket. And then when I came in here and started doing the voiceover thing, I was able to get into Doraemon, so it was a beautiful, full circle moment. I got to play the bully kid, so I got to be in the thing that I first interacted with as a human. And that's my favorite.
Wow, it's all downhill from there, huh?
I already forgot the question.
What's your favoriteest role of all time?
Oh, yeah.
Favoriteest role of all time is a tough question because I like a lot of roles I play.
That's a cop-out. Pick one.
But the real answer is no butter cookie sake.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna say Yuji Tadori.
We're staying on brand.
That's
staying on
true.
brand. I'm the only one off brand so far.
I would say I'm gonna just stick to anime because we're at an anime con. I'll say my favorite all time is Shoya from A Silent Voice. That's my favorite.
My favorite, I loved Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. We got to record that baby from start to finish over 3 years. There's nothing like that in the video game world. And I got to work with Robbie Damon, which is always a treat.
Ray Chase, your voice is beautiful. How did you get into voiceover? Question number 2.
Wow, look at that transition.
I met Shermie Lee's husband today because I complimented him on his voice. He was just talking at the VIP signing. I was like, who is that beautifully voiced man? And it was her husband. I thought that was awesome. Anyway, what was the question?
How did you get into voiceover?
Oh, I did like 200 audiobooks in a little 4x4 room by myself over the course of 3 years. It was miserable, and then I met my good friend Max Middleman, who was like, let's band together and start taking all these workshops and really getting to get some cool auditions instead of reading books all day, which is lame. What about you, Robbie? How'd you get started?
Thank you for asking, Ray. What a unique and fun question. I've been an actor my whole life. I started in theater. I got my equity card when I was 10 years old. I did theater all the way through undergrad and grad school, and then way back in 2007, I moved to Los Angeles, California, where I did a bunch of horrible voiceover work and just did better work and then got better agents and and then I hit Jujutsu Kaisen and retired. That's it. But no, it's just a grind. I've been an actor my whole life. I'm super honored to be here, and yeah, it's what I've always wanted to do. I'm a lucky guy.
It was also, for me, what I always wanted to do. I've wanted to do 2 things since I was like 4 years old. Kung Fu and have an agent. And just, yeah, my parents just tell me that's what I always ask for. So I started acting when I was like 15 or 16, theater, improv. Then I got my first audition, which was a voiceover commercial, of like a radio commercial for Macy's. I ended up getting that. It turned into like 30-something radio commercials for Macy's in like 1998. I'm so old. And then I just never stopped. That's basically it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I saw The Little Mermaid when I was like 6 years old, and I was like, I'm gonna be a mermaid. Spoiler, you can't be a mermaid because it's not real.
Aw, dream killer.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm
Santa's not
dreams
real.
left and right. But I decided instead I wanted to be the voice of a Disney princess. And like that inspired me. And I like took singing lessons, I took piano lessons, I was in drama club, speech team, all that stuff. And then I went off to college and I got a BS in biomedical engineering because I'm Asian. But the whole time I was basically living at the theater. And my mentor convinced me to audition for grad school. I ended up going to California Institute of the Arts to get my MFA. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Remember when you wanted to be the voice of a Disney princess? Like, maybe that's a thing I could do. And then student loans kicked in, and I was like, oh, you know what? I have this other degree. So I went and was a forensic scientist for 7 years. All the while...
CSI Annie.
Yeah, right. All the while doing theater, taking improv classes, sketch classes, voiceover classes, slowly building my resume, and through like a long time of like hard work, I like made the connections that got me to my agent, who then eventually got me Jujutsu Kaisen.
You have your MFA too?
Yeah.
Dab it up, let's go.
Yeah.
Student loans, baby.
I feel like I went the more traditional route and sacrificed 16 chickens. I feel like I'm like,
You are.
yeah. So I went to school for acting. I came to Los Angeles to get my hands on whatever acting I could do, and then bam, I did podcasts for a dubbing studio. They called me in for a show. It was The Melancholy of Robbie and Mia. That was the first thing I ever did, and it just snowballed ever since because I was too lazy to look for another job.
Wow, KG, that's so interesting. You know, as I mentioned, I've retired.
Yeah.
But what I didn't mention is last night I slipped in my hotel room, hit my head on the ground, and forgot how to get into voiceover. It's almost as if I've always been told that I should, and I've got such an interest out of it. And ever since I bonked my head, now I'm a novice. Could you please tell me how I can get into voiceover? Question number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. 16 chickens. That's exactly what you need to get into voiceover.
What one piece of advice would you give me as a novice about this business?
Did somebody say One Piece? I love that show. Just kidding. Adam, did you ever do Kung Fu?
Did I ever do Kung Fu?
Yeah, that was your other
This is
dream.
my portion of the show!
That was your other dream.
Hold on. So, I started training Northern and Southern Shaolin Kung Fu when I was 11.
You did both of your dreams.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. That's cool. I like travel all over China and stuff.
No, actually, we will tell you how to get into VO, but Adam, weren't you like number 6 in the country?
Well, for contemporary Kung Fu, I was ranked 8th.
8th?
In traditional Kung Fu, like in certain weapons categories, I was ranked number 1 for a bit.
That's amazing! That's incredible!
Which weapons? You mean my specialties?
Yeah, what's your specialty?
The butterfly swords and the spear.
That's so sick.
Not as cool as voiceover. KG, how do you get into this business?
Take acting classes. If you can take theater classes, it provides you with so much of what you need for voiceover. That's what I send everyone towards first. Theater, if you can get your hands on it. And of course, in this era of COVID, a professionally sound-treated space at home is a huge plus. Passing it down.
I'm gonna say the internet is a wonderful resource. If you don't have the money for classes, the internet or your local library, read books, watch things, take in media with a critical eye and see what other people are doing and then borrow it.
Yeah, the internet's like a really nice place too, so you'll be safe. Okay, get out your phones, your notes section, open it up, quick, take it out. Go to iwanttobeavoiceactor.com and read everything.
Do you think when D. Bradley Baker made that site, he knew
He didn't think about aesthetic at all?
Hundreds of idiot voice actors every weekend
Would
would
just
be
say
like,
that?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably like, what is all this web traffic?
Do you think he would have made it look a little bit better and be
No, it's not Do
Do
you
you
want
think
them
he
to
would
go?
monetize
It
this?
feels like a geosite, but it's chock full of great information. You know what I would say? Make sure that you enjoy it and do it for that reason first. I made this analogy yesterday. It is. I made this analogy yesterday on our panel, and I said, sure you can do anything professionally, right? But would you never try to go play a pickup game of basketball if you didn't think that you were going to be in the NBA? Of course not. So it's the same reason I say for voice actors, make sure that you love it and you're having a good time. Do some projects that your friends are doing. Voice a few original comics. Do it for the fun of it and getting better at it and practicing it without worrying about being a professional so far away. Give yourself 6 months to a year to see if you like it before you put aspiring voice actor in your Twitter handle. And I mean that in the kindest of ways. Make sure that you have fun. Be an amateur, be a novice, enjoy it for a little bit first, and then you can get into the nitty-gritty and pop on over to the geo side.
My piece of advice is don't forget the really boring side of voiceover, which is medical narration, commercials, promos, all that sort of stuff. It is roughly half, if not more, of the work that's out there, and there's no reason to shut yourself out of all of those auditions if you don't start looking for them, because they do end up paying the bills a lot more than anime too. So don't forget to do the boring stuff as well. There's a lot of work out there that isn't all flashy and cool.
What's something that you're? Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What's something that you're known for? Not known for. Something that you do regularly that you're not known for that would fit in that kind of niche.
Oh, something. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a ton of those. There's a ton because I started online. I did a lot of stuff on Voice 123 back in the day, like doing all those free auditions and stuff. And I do every month. WCIU the U in South Bend, Indiana, KUPN up there. That is, I do a lot of their promos. Still keep up with it every month. The Big Bang Comedy Block is coming up on WCIU the U. So any South Bend Indianas up here, I'm still your guy, baby.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Robbie, do you have to like that?
Yeah, well, I guess I do a lot of the announcer stuff for Red Bull. So like when the Red Bull Fluke Talk is in your town this weekend, January 3rd to the 4th. Go get and watch people jump off a building, something like that.
Fluke Talk? That actually explains so much about it.
But at the same time, like a voice like mine, I'm not going to sell you auto insurance. No one is going to buy life insurance from me. So
I get like the cheap insurance.
What I do, I think the really cheap stuff. But I do like McDonald's commercials and toy commercials, that sort of thing. That's my brand.
Did Diamonds?
I did do a couple Diamonds commercials.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Me? So, if you watch Disney XD ever, I'm the voice of the channel.
Yep.
So I tell you what's coming up next on Disney XD. It's gonna be right after DuckTales and all that good stuff. That's like my thing that you don't like see on a resume. That's like a regular.
It's always right after
Give
DuckTales.
examples.
Yeah.
Examples.
Example. Unlike Robbie, I can sell you insurance. I did this whole campaign for like the zebra.com, which was like you can compile like insurance quotes or whatever. Like I did like a whole series of commercials where it's just me, like this voice, just this. Just telling you to like get
I fell for
insurance.
that.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I fell for that.
I want some insurance
Yeah.
right
You want to
now.
be insured. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you that right now. So
It's
like
true.
just get on your phone.
Dang it,
Go
she's
to
right.
zebra.com.
She sold it to
And
me.
then tell them to pay me for this commercial.
Honestly.
I don't qualify.
Oh, too bad.
I do a couple things. So I do a lot of like Disney educational like software for children. So like I teach kids how to read and like do math and stuff. But aside from that, I'm also the dude who does a lot of audio description for both Netflix and HBO Max. So if you are visually impaired, I am the guy who tells you what happens on the screen. Like Pac-Man flies across the screen, eats a ghost, lands, looks in the camera, gives a thumbs up.
So if you ever wanted to have Gojo narrate what's happening in a movie,
That's me. Yeah.
you just put on the setting. Yeah.
That's it.
And just like that, we've completed the top 3 questions of all time.
Thank you guys so much for coming.
Let's open the floor over up to y'all. Now, a lot of us up here have been in voiceover a long time. This is a JJK panel. Feel free to ask as many of those types of questions as you want, but I'm comfortable with opening it up to whatever if you want to get a little off topic. But we'll keep it, I see some young faces in here, so we'll keep it all PG-13 and all that for you.
Is this what the panel is? Were we supposed to do something or anything? This is it. It's just questions.
Ray and I have been doing a show for too long. We have not done a sit-down panel in a long time.
We didn't have any plans or anything.
Dance for
This
us,
is it.
or like-
Well, what'd you want to do?
Sing for us. Come on.
Oh, Jujutsu, you're my Kaisen. I will kill you. It's the Sukuna song. Okay, questions.
That's a total spoiler because it will be in season 2.
Yeah.
It's very dark out there, but we see you.
Wait, do they have a? This
They've
is
got
why
a-
I'm asking. Do
they've
they
got a-
have a microphone out
they've
there?
got a
Okay,
microphone,
great.
Alright, cool.
You know? Hi. So we already know Yuji's answer, but for the rest of the cast, what kind of woman is your type?
What kind of woman is our type?
Nanami.
How honest are we getting here? How cheeky can we be? I need a challenge. I need a challenge. Not like a challenging, like a lady that always likes to fight me, but like
Feisty.
I need feisty and like doesn't like if I'm throwing a few jibes out, that they need to be able to answer back. Yeah. That's definitely my type. I married a redhead, so yeah.
I'm kind of into eldritch monstrosities, kind of like
Yeah.
like Sarah Kerrigan, the Queen of Blades from StarCraft, is kind of along where I see. Yeah.
I love Lizzo.
It's about damn time.
I love my wife, Julia. She truly is my type. We were together in college. I grew up listening to her on the show Kablam on Nickelodeon. She was June from Kablam.
I love Kablam.
I ended up marrying one of my childhood crushes. It's fantastic. Can't ask for anything more.
Dreams to come true.
It is true.
Yeah.
Ray and I were in a very similar scenario. We were both single guys, and we were hanging out together, and we were both like, hey, what if I told you my college sweetheart wanted to start dating again? And I went, hey, what if I told you my college sweetheart wanted to start
This is
dating again?
wild, yeah.
And we both ended up marrying our college sweethearts.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Each other's or your own?
No, each other's.
Yeah, it's fine. Next question.
Hi, I just wanted to thank you guys all for being here. I know you have a really busy schedule, so thank you for being here.
Of course.
My question, there's a little bit of context. I babysit a 13-year-old girl, or I help take care of her. She has a visual impairment that makes her really, really sensitive to light. And it is impossible to get her to wear her sunglasses when she needs to, because she thinks they look dumb. But then she saw that like Nanami and Gojo had sunglasses, and now she loves wearing them. And she's become insufferably confident because she's like,
Yeah.
Sounds like Gojo.
Are you asking us if you're allowed to hit a child? The answer is no.
Especially not in glasses.
Unfortunately, she wasn't able to come to the con with me this time, but she wanted me to ask you guys a question when I told her there was a panel. And she wants to know if you could have any cursed technique from the show.
Wait, sorry to interrupt you. This is a beautiful story.
There's a thing happening.
You've got to pick your moments, guys. This is so heartwarming.
It's like you're being so earnest and like.
But we're getting a boba delivery. The DoorDash person is horrible.
I promise.
I'm sorry, this is so unprofessional.
No, stop. Leave and come back. Go. Leave. Please leave.
I want my boba.
Yeah, I know you do.
I'm so thirsty, Robbie.
Not gonna be an asshole.
I'm so thirsty. Have a much funnier time.
You
I'm
gotta
so
pick
sorry.
your moments. For the love of God, I'll be the jerk.
Okay,
Please,
so sorry. Please continue.
please continue.
I'm so
Anyway,
thirsty.
her name is Carson, and she wants to know if you could have any curse technique from the show, like curse power, what would it be?
From the show, or can we make something up?
You can make something up.
Okay. So I have this. My favorite version of this is I would totally have cursed memes. Okay, so like my combat style is I find out your phone number, which is very invasive. First of all, that's very damaging. All right, and then I send you a cursed meme, and I'm like, hey, let's fight. Oh, by the way, check your phone. I sent you a message. And you'll be like, what? Psh, ah, and then I don't know, you blow up or something like that.
My answer changes like all the time. Today, I would really like Megumi's, so I could just have like a bunch of pets.
Oh, good doggos.
Yeah, lots of good doggos. Yeah.
I really loved Everything Everywhere All at Once, so I would want like hot dog fingers.
Yeah.
That is pretty cursed. That is pretty cursed. Yeah.
Finally, some delicious fingers.
Just drag them right
Oh, I don't want to fight that guy.
I just want to walk by and boot people under their nose.
Forget Gojo, I want to be Jogo. The guy with the volcano head. If we literally have a show called Lava, how baller would it be? Like right in the middle of the show, to be like, ah!
His head is Mount Fuji! His head is Mount Fuji!
I didn't have a cool answer. It was like 4 cool answers in a row. So my answer, my cursed energy answer would be to have all the good answers for when people ask me questions at a film.
I thought you were going to say, my curse technique would be, my wife, Julia.
And please, Carson, right?
Yeah.
You please tell Carson and the cast of JJK think she's the coolest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
She's also in love with Tengen from Demon Slayer.
Hell yeah!
We don't talk about that show here.
What? I talk about it. It's a great show. Anime talks about it. Yeah, dude.
Bring forth the boba!
I didn't order any boba.
It was
gone.
too late. It was too late. We ordered boba in the green room. We can share a straw. We can share a straw. So while we're getting this, I'm going to tell the story, right? So we went out to have a night out. We had a little bite last night. We were on a group thread, and Ray and I talked about going, and Ray was like, well, why wasn't I invited? And why wasn't I on the thread? And I was like, well, they asked me to ask you. And it's like, I don't know, I wasn't on the thread. And his feelings got a little bit hurt. And I hope it's okay to share this. Well, Ray, I have something to tell you right now in front of these 2,000 people. I had told KG how much you don't like being on group threads.
I found that out today, yeah.
So I am sorry for your hurt feelings. It was my fault, and KG was just trying to be polite.
I don't like being on threads with uncool people, but these guys, all cool people.
I've been leaving Ray out of like every single like group event for all of these things, and I feel terrible now that I know that.
Now I know why I wasn't invited to the movie premiere. It all is coming together. Coming together.
I was just trying to be nice.
We weren't in it.
Yeah, we weren't in it.
Yeah. Ray, do you want my boba?
Heck no.
Okay.
Next question, please.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay. So I got a little bit of a weird question. If you ever read fanfics about your characters, I want to describe a quick fanfic, and I just want your opinion of what you think happens in it.
Is it PG-13?
It is. Yes, it is.
That was quite the hesitation. Is it PG-13?
It's rated teen. So.
Okay.
Cheers.
So you're going to read us a title of each of our characters.
So it's a fanfic called May Death Never Stop You. It's a Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia crossover where Gojo is reincarnated as Dobby, and it's a Dobby Hawks fic.
Hawks fic? What was that? Oh, Hawks. Dobby X Hawks?
Yes.
Dobby from Harry Potter? Dead. R.I.P. R.I.P.
So you're saying if our characters were in this, how would they do at My Hero Academia school, yeah?
No, sorry, my question was confusing.
What's the question?
Well, come on. We'll do this together. We'll figure it out. You need time to log on to your archive of our own?
We'll wait.
What's the question?
I'll just make it easier. Do you guys ever read fanfics about your characters? And what's the weirdest fanfic that you have found with your characters?
Oh man, this. Okay, but I can't answer this because there are kids in the crowd.
Well, it's like kind of a yes or no question, and I think they heard yes.
How about you talk about it as if the stork was involved?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was a Bungo Stray Dogs fanfic. This happened literally 2 days after I joined TikTok. All right, so people started going, "Hey, have you read this fanfic? Have you read this fanfic?" And it stars Atsushi, right? And a bowl of stork.
Yes.
I don't like this at all. I do not like the term bowl of stork.
I am
I think we
uncomfortable.
need to
Yeah, that's it.
Use your imagination, thanks.
Do you read fanfics of your characters?
I don't. But I do see plenty of fan art on Twitter and Instagram, and they're all good.
I am a 40-year-old man.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of doujinshi in my day. Especially doujin stork, and especially of Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. But what I loved about the fanfic community was how gentle and loving a lot of the stories were, like just about hanging out, about Noctis and Prompto going to school. Nothing crazy, nothing stork related, just awesome guys hanging out. I really enjoyed the wholesomeness of that entire community.
Nice.
I don't read that.
Adam doesn't read.
Adam can't read.
KG, I hired KG to narrate all my lines to me before I say them.
That's right. It's half of my AD work.
So that's how I do it. No, I, like Ann said, I do see a lot of the fan art, especially when I was on Star vs. the Forces of Evil. There was a lot of like Tomco, Star, like all the different ships. There's a lot of like fan art and stuff like that. So I have been visually
Stimulated?
No, the opposite of that. Like attacked too many times to open my heart anymore.
Let's be clear, fan art's the best.
Oh yeah.
I think it's one of the coolest parts of our job is to when you do something and you turn it over to the fans and then they take it and make it their own and run with it.
Continue the story. All that stuff.
I think that's one of the coolest parts.
Even when there's a lot of storks.
Yeah. So we might not be out there cruising the fanfics, but we are checking out your fan art, and it's really cool. So thank you.
And I appreciate that the fanfics are being written. Like, yes, please keep like.
You should appreciate that all of them are being written.
Yeah, some of them should stop being written.
Correct.
Okay.
Next.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you're comfortable with it too, before you ask your question, let us know your name so we can say hi to you.
Hello, this is Maddie.
Hi,
Hello, Maddie.
What is a D&D character you haven't gotten to play yet or would like to play?
Oh man, I have been working on my next major character for a year. Yeah, I think, and it might be 2 more years before I ever get to play it. But I had about 3 months, maybe 4, to figure out my character on Critical Role, and I still don't think it was enough time. I still think about it all the time. But just a class, I want to play just, and this is not related to my next character, I just want to play a smash 'em up guy. I want to be because that's what I do in video games. Like I like to lie to myself and tell me that I'm like a great sniper or I'm like a strategist. I'm just a moron. Like hand me a shotgun and let me wreck shop. Like that's all I want to do.
You're Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, I am 100% Leroy Jenkins.
All right, Robbie, we're gonna go in here. And
I'd be a barbarian. Why not? Sounds awesome.
I was inspired by a thread I read online once about like so basically I want to be a goose with very high charisma, right? And then I have such high charisma that I just convince people that I'm not a goose, right? But in reality I am just a goose, right? And then people who like when I fail the charisma check, people who like figure out that I'm a goose, other people think they're crazy. You know, it's like, what do you mean? This is Mr. Goose. Like, I'd like to go through an entire campaign as a goose.
I haven't thought about like what my next D&D character would be. But I like Robbie. I've never played like just a smash 'em up fighter or barbarian. So one of those two would be fun, just to play a real dumb. Yeah.
I don't know how to do this.
D&Ds?
Yeah, no one has ever invited me before.
Not with D&D.
Wait a minute, Adam, literally we met at a D&D game.
KG, do you remember how I played?
You did Kung Fu, but the rules didn't really support Kung Fu.
Because I didn't know what to do. Somebody help.
I like being thieves because you can kind of get in the DM's head and stuff like that and do stuff that you're not supposed to. That's my favorite thing is try to beat the game. It's one of my favorite things.
It's true. I do play like video games and board games, and he's always looking to outsmart you.
I love that.
90% of the time, you will.
Strategy. I love it.
Thanks for the question, Maddie.
Is that little baby Grogu too? I can't see you very well. Yay!
Nice job.
She was sick of being the armorer yesterday, so she's like, I'm gonna be comfy on Saturday.
It's a good choice. It's wise.
All right. Hi guys, I'm Peyton. So this is gonna be more D&D related. Ooh.
Oh, okay, great.
We have
There's
time.
people in the perfect. That's a good mix between mood and stage. That's good.
So keeping it D&D related, and if all of your, if like Gojo, and Kugisaki, Itadori, Fushiguro, and then by turn Sukuna, we're all trying to play D&D together, what do you think their characters would be, and who would be your DM?
I think Yuji would be the one to bring the snacks. But they'd be like really bad snacks. Yeah, he'd be like, oh, I got popcorn and it's drizzled with like
Chocolate?
like
Wasabi?
cheese.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Cheesy popcorn.
Yeah, cheesy popcorn. Yeah.
I feel like Megumi would they talk Megumi into DMing, right?
Yes.
And then he would study so hard, and he would like become a master rules person, and then of course the rest of the game, the rest of the players just like screw with him the entire time.
Total rules lawyer.
Yeah.
They invited Tarask like the second session.
Yup.
Yep. That sounds
I
good.
feel like Kugisaki would, or she would just describe like how beautiful her character was, like all the cool things her character is wearing, and they'd be like, and yeah, what does she do? Like, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. And her hair is just silky.
Now, technically, would Sukuna be Itadori's familiar?
No, I think Sukuna would be there, completely naked, of course, and he would just keep on adding zeros to all of his stats, and when no one was looking.
On the front or the back?
On the front and the back. Oh, everywhere he would add things to his inventory without people talking about it and say, "What are you gonna do about it?" It'd be great.
I think Yuji would be whatever character like punches stuff, but I do think Yuji would always, what is it, nat 20? That's the good thing. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yuji would not know what he was doing, but he would just keep throwing like the
Hilarious.
best.
Gojo would of course be an insufferable bard.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on a second.
All right, these guys.
Thanks for questions.
Hello, I am short.
Hi, Shorts.
My other name is Kaden. I use they, them pronouns, and when I'm not dressed in very frilly outfits, like this past Halloween, I dressed up as Beetlejuice.
Oh, nice. Cool.
My house did 3 Beetlejuices and a Lydia. I was the one to hand out candy. I swear this is leading up to something. I made the somewhat regrettable choice for future me to do a Beetlejuice voice.
Mm-hmm.
And it absolutely wrecked me. So I was kind of curious, as voice actors, have y'all ever had a particular voice or part that has A, either been really hard to do and wrecked you afterwards, or B, just was really hard to get through with, like, without laughing, without messing it up?
Yeah, 100%. So I did a character named Red Magnus for Disgaea 5, and he's basically this over-the-top wrestling kind of character. Like, he's a big red demon, and he at bare minimum, his lowest like setting in vocal range was just like sort of yelling. Like, that's it, right? Disgaea, for those of you who are not aware, Disgaea games are very long. So there's a lot of dialogue over and over again, so I had a lot of 4-hour sessions back to back. And because of this character's like yelly kind of dialogue, this was one of the, I think the only time in my entire voiceover career over 15 years where I spit up blood at the end of one of the later sessions.
You.
Yeah. So yeah, I would not do that character again. I would probably not reprise the role, or I would, I would approach it very differently. But yeah, Red Magnus from Disgaea, never again probably.
I had to dub this Russian kids show where I played this little boy, and he was like 5. But they were just like, just retelling stories. That was the whole thrust of the thing. It's like the brother and sister are just like retelling like classic stories. But like I would go in for like 4-hour sessions to do this like little tiny voice for like 4 hours. And it would be, and I had like 3 sessions that week of 4 hours each because we had a lot of episodes to get through. And by that 3rd session that week, this really hurt my voice, like, because it's just you're constricting your airway, like to get that small voice box, and then like adding rasp, like I needed to take more breaks, and that was earlier on in my career. So like I would have advocated for myself better to like take more breaks or to do like only 2-hour sessions because that was a 2-hour minimum. But yeah, watch out for those textured voices.
Yeah, video games tend to be more yelly for me. Like animation and anime and stuff, I usually get cast as like the 15-year-old. So that's not too.
What's that like?
Yeah. That's not too crazy. But video game stuff where it's just constant like get down. Yelling out commands as like a military person, stuff like that. Things like that have shredded my voice. And then also creature sounds. I worked on. There's a movie called Krampus. And I did the Dark Elves and the Gingerbread Men, which sound very, very different, but when you go into these things, sometimes you're like, oh yeah, they're like, okay, we need this, and maybe it's 1 line or 2 lines, and you're like, okay, and you can do something for that long, and then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, cool, now we have these like 10 other scenes we've got to do that in, and you're like, oh shoot, I just made a decision to make a sound that will hurt to do for a long time, so I've gotten good at not doing that. But yeah, Krampus was another one of those. I left and was like, okay, I need rest time.
Yeah, I think anything that's a texture, but also like has big like variance in it. Like if it's something that's high and low, or you've got back-to-back sessions. Like our sessions are usually 4 hours for a union, and then you can go to lunch and then do another session. So it's really tough if you're like got one of those 15-year-olds, and then you have to go be like a soldier guy, or vice versa. That for me is the worst.
Yeah, I had a Star vs. the Forces of Evil session and a Far Cry 5 session back to back.
Yeah, that's the worst.
So I went from like 14-year-old hopping dimensions.
We had to stretch to get down there, and then they were having me do all my own atatas. Did you do yours for your game?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm 90% sure in Japan those are 2 different dudes. I'd be willing to bet $1 million. And for the game that we did, it was so clear that in Japanese, they did a library of efforts, so like 30 or 40, and then stitched them all together for all of the heats and attacks. And there were a bunch of special attacks, right? There was like 500 of them in the game, and then a bunch of... And I did every single one of those as an individual standalone, and it was brutal. And I tried to complain. I said, hey, I know that these are pieced together. Can we get the original and just let me do the same thing? And they're like, no, they want them all to be unique. And I was like, okay. The voice is way down here. And then it's, and every time we did that, it was just like, kill me. So we would do 3 hours of the voice, and then we would do an hour of the atas and attacks and stuff. So that kind of stuff, that was suffering. That was one where I was like, don't make me do this again.
Yeah, Kenshiro was no joke.
Yeah, Kenshiro's a hard one.
I did a show that I'm sure everyone has watched on Netflix. It's 52 episodes long, called Botter Snikes and Gumballs, starring Ray and Robbie. Oh yeah, wait, were you on that, KG?
Yeah, I was.
Were you a snake?
Dude, I don't remember. That was so many years ago.
It's an Australian show, but it's just accented enough to where American audience really can't understand it.
It was an English to English dub. It was wild. And I auditioned thinking, whatever.
And this is like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
No,
6 or 7 years ago. Yeah.
Live action.
And I auditioned for Kate Snipe with this voice. And then I found out it's renewed for a 2nd season, 52 episodes long. That was absolute misery. I'm glad that show is dead. Thanks for the question.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that's a long line. We should probably speed these up a little bit. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Isaac.
Hello,
Hi, Isaac.
My question for all of you is, I was wondering if outside of voice acting and work and everything, what kind of hobbies do you guys have?
I play a lot of Magic the Gathering. So much. In fact, that's like half of my retirement plan. I'm always like fantasizing, okay, one day I'm gonna quit voiceover and just go on Pro Tour. I'm gonna win every Pro Tour. Yeah. That, and let's see what else. I any sort of video gaming I can fit into my schedule I really love. I love fighting games a lot. Me and my wife, we're a Street Fighter family. We both made M. Bison. Thank you for the one Street Fighter fan. Yeah. Fighting games and Magic the Gathering. That's me.
Sweet.
I have this habit of picking up a craft and trying to learn it and then abandoning it halfway through. I'm like halfway decent at knitting. I'm okay at I'm like beginner at like crocheting. I like for a while was like really into like making pop-up cards. I'm pretty good at it. But like it's really hard to find time for it. But I really love crafty things. I can sew, I can do all this stuff, but like time. Where is time?
Yes.
But I also play video games, and if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, you should. Thanks, bye.
Video games for me too. I'm like a battle royale guy. I love Apex Legends. Shout out to all the chaotic Mirage and Fuse mains out there. I love cars. I collect cars, and I love driving on the track. It's very fun. And then martial arts. I like kicking things and getting punched in the head.
I have a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Sick
Those are your hobbies. Sick hobbies. That is it.
Changing diapers.
Oh man, I'm real bad at it. No, I'm a musician. I like to play music. I'm a singer. I love hiking. Love sports. I'm always down for a pickup game, whatever. And pickleball.
Do you play pickleball?
That is for retirees.
Dude, no, it's not. You're so
Yes, pickleball is for retirees.
You should play.
Yeah, anything physical. That's sort of like my go-to. Like I'm not an overly religious guy, but my spirit is out there in the woods somewhere. Yeah.
I love being the #1 rated kung fu master in the, or what was it?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot. Oh gosh, I've made him angry. A duel. I love playing indie games, whatever the cool new things. I'm playing Tunic right now, absolutely loving it. Slay the Spire, I've got 1,000 hours in that game. It's my favorite of all time. I love reading and I love playing music too. And those are my hobbies. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good question. Thanks for asking about us.
Hi, my name is Lila, and I was
Hi, Lila.
wondering if you could say your favorite line from the characters you play in Jujutsu Kaisen.
Favorite line from Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah, in the character verse, please.
Formation B!
I love myself when I'm pretty and all dressed up. And I love myself when I'm kicking ass! I am Kumori-Con!
Gojo Kamisake! Bushy girls getting hit on!
Oh, what the hell?
I'm into girls like Jennifer Lawrence.
Hi, I'm Isabel.
Hi, Isabel.
Hi.
Hello.
I was wondering, like, in what ways do you kind of relate to the like personalities and traits of your characters that you play in the show?
In what ways do we relate to the personality traits of our characters?
You go first.
Yeah,
You go first.
Yeah, Ray.
I go first this time?
Ray's like, I love my wife, Julia.
What ways do I?
You love me!
I love Robbie Damon. That's right. I have a mysterious attraction to Robbie Damon's character, unexplained. I love killing, and I'm evil. Thank you.
Nice.
Very straightforward.
I am an extreme extrovert. Like I enjoy the company of people. It's my favorite. I really am. It's true. But I also love to be alone. That is how I relate to Megami the most. I love peace and quiet and solitude. So that's a weird dichotomy, but just little snippets of it. I need it from time to time to reset. And I feel like Megami's that, maybe the opposite. Maybe he's an introvert who really just needs moments to be around people and to be loved. So yeah, that's how I'm the same and opposite.
One of the things I value is a really good group activity.
He said this a lot.
I do say this a lot. I just want everybody to go participate and have fun. And I feel like that's like Yuji. He just wants to be around his friends. He wants to make sure they're okay and that everyone's having a good time and not dead. And that's me.
No, I vibe with Nobara. Like she's like the most like me out of most of my characters. Like the way she like interacts with her friends, the way they can dish it out and take it.
Hits people with hammers.
The way she hits people with hammers. Like we're the same. Absolutely the same.
And loves shopping.
I also love shopping. That is very true.
Well, Gojo loves trolling Nanami, and I also love trolling my wife. So it's like it's the same. Yeah.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Abby.
Also, I was wondering if you could be any kind of cheese, what kind of cheese would you be?
A really nice provolone, like straight up. Thank you.
Strawberry soft brie. Oh my god.
I want to be one of those super stanky cheeses that tastes real good. You know what I mean? The cheese are like, oh damn, and then you eat it like,
I want to be cheese whiz so I can live forever.
I want to be that, like, you know, there's like the bad version of melty nacho cheese, but then there's like the really good version of melty nacho cheese. I want to be the really bad version. Oh, I want to be the good version of nacho cheese.
I want to be bad cheese.
Real bad.
You are such a bad cheese.
I want to be real bad.
What bad cheese you are.
All right, hi everyone. My name is Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. What's up, Jessica? Sorry. Sorry, the bobas kicking in.
So my question, it was a hyperfixation of mine to watch JJK. So I watched it in both sub and dub, and I'm interested in what you guys feel like you bring to the table, or how you interpret it with your personality and make the character your own. I know I give loaded questions all the time. I'm so sorry.
You want an honest answer?
Yes.
Uh-oh. I have done enough anime at this point to where I recognize a performance formula when I see it. And unless the Japanese actor is doing something very, very specific and unique, I turn it off in my head. I listen to the reference for the acting quality and all of that and to figure out where it is. But then performance-wise, I really try to do my own thing. Early in my anime career, I was like, I must stay as honest to this as possible. And then I went, oh no, I've heard this before. Well, maybe they'll let me do something different. And that's an honest answer, sorry. I very much respect the original performances. I think in general, they're excellent, but they're not all excellent. And sometimes you don't get the excellent ones. I think in JJK, he's quite excellent. So I really listen up to him. For me though, it was one specific moment, and it was only because of you guys and the internet. You guys slaughtered the manga translation for gendering Megumi's type. So I was tuned in, and I was watching. And, oh no, not the manga, apologies, the subtitles, because it dropped a couple weeks before, and he says she instead of the non-gendered specific in the manga, and during that session, I was in with the director and I was like, hey, I fought for it. I said, let's go as close to the original. And that's not a character judgment on, that's yet to be unfolded within the story if it ever is, but I feel like if it was done with intention and I was writing that in my native language, I would want whoever localized it to be as true to the source material as possible. So that's one little nugget that I felt proud of. Me.
But it's true, it happens all the time. Like, we're aware of the communities and the things that come out before, and we try to make things as close to what your guys' conception of them are when it's time for us too. And we have to fight for a lot of stuff, because usually the localization team is not so much for video games, but for anime for sure. They're under such a tight deadline. The writers are so underpaid. They have a week to write these episodes, and so it's up to us to really bring ourselves to each of our characters and fight for them as much as we can.
I don't think I actually realized, so Jujutsu Kaisen was my first anime that I ever did. And I don't think that I realized how much I could fight for. And I think we had a conversation at some point in the beginning of it, and I was like, I just need to do what I want.
Well, you and I had a very specific conversation, is that we had a similar background where we came from animation first before we jumped into anime, and that transition is a very difficult thing. Like, I go back and listen to my first few episodes of Sailor Moon, I'm like, whoa, I was lost in the sauce. And I think that Adam is so talented, and after the first few episodes dropped, we had a conversation, and we were like, hey man, I was like, you need to let the reins out. Like, I knew how good he was from his body of work previous to it, and this isn't a value judgment on your first few episodes, but for me, how fast your skill amped up in such a difficult media for me was just like, I felt like by episode 6 you were a 10-year veteran, you know? So it was really nice to see, yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it was really because of that conversation. I remember, like, I'm pretty sure, like, I DM'd you too, like, I was messaging you, because the crazy thing about JJK is we started recording this in October of 2020. So not only was, like, for me personally, not only was it my first lead on an anime, like the second one I auditioned for ever, we were in the middle of the pandemic at, like, the point where it was like, oh, we're gonna open, no, we're not. And then everything went, like, really strict for a while. So we were recording from home, so it was, like, new studio, new director, also being, like, an audio engineer while we were recording these first few episodes. And I just remember, I'm not an anxious person. I've been, like, punched in the face so many times that nothing really makes me nervous. But I remember feeling, and I was like, I think this is probably how people feel when they have anxiety. Like the first like few episodes of JJK, not because of like I was scared of the project, but because we were doing so many other things, and I was like, how can I even concentrate on what I'm doing? And I just,
It's also because you care.
Yeah.
That's so obvious from the way you handle yourself professionally to how much you love the fandom. You're a guy who cares about the stuff that he's working on, and that can lead to anxiety and fear when you're doing. Technically, dubbing is very hard. Like, if you're coming from a cartoon, we would do 11-minute episodes of cartoons that we would work on for 4 hours and have the script for 2 hours or 2 weeks before you ever go in.
And could do,
mess
anything
around and do
you
anything,
could do
and then so take all that away to a 22-minute episode in 2 hours, and with such a framework that you have to work within to get an organic performance. It's not easy. And by yourself in your house, engineering your own stuff from a closet.
What was funny too is the director at the onset of Jujutsu Kaisen wasn't a master. So like usually when we're in a booth, the director's on one side of the glass, we're on the other. There's a button he presses to be able to talk to us, and then when he lets off that, he can talk to the engineer, or like if there's other writers or whoever in the room. And if you're an actor, you can't hear it on the other side. Well, because it was all over Zoom, the director was really bad at the talk back button. So like I would do a take and then be like, hello?
It would also be the opposite. He'd be like eating a bag of chips.
He ate a lot of chips.
A lot of chips in our session.
That was so good.
You would just tell me about what I should make him this cake that we can talk about. I will make you the cake. I've never made cake.
Shirtless. Yeah, his video would pop on Zoom randomly, and he's not wearing a shirt. He's like, oh, no, wait, really? Hold on.
Really quickly though, I do want to say a factoid. So there was that scene where Gojo says, "Don't worry, I'm the strongest," right? So we had to alter it because of the lip flaps in the show. Just that "Don't worry, I'm the strongest" just didn't fit, right? So I don't know, like I really fought for my guy, I'm the strongest, like for a really long time. We really tried to make that stupid line fit. It's like, my guy, I'm the strongest. You know, but it didn't end up happening. So I'm sorry, I failed you.
I'll just pipe in like Robbie, like I taken what's given to us in the original Japanese, and like in Jujutsu Kaisen, like the cast is just stellar. And then I kind of just like let that kind of filter through me, and then I make the choices, you know, and I try to honor it, but also give my spin on her, which is I think pretty similar still, but has my flavor on it. Yeah.
Good question.
Thanks.
Thank
you very much.
I said speed it up and we slowed it down.
Yeah,
Let's go again. Let's hit
opposite of what you said.
So before we take the next question, that line is going to be it.
Okay.
Please try and keep your questions short because we do have only 30 minutes left. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Natalie. I have a really important question for you guys as far as the voice acting process goes.
Okay.
So I went to school for audio engineering, and I know that it's typically for like music recording, but I know a lot of the skills are utilized in voice acting as well. What I want to know is how much are knowledge, like technical knowledge and recording software knowledge, are you guys expected to know as voice actors? And are you expected to kind of like work collaboratively like with the sound engineer, or is he just kind of recording everything for you guys while you guys just kind of do the
3
work?
years ago, I would have said just enough to audition. And maybe do a commercial or two from home or a
Not the case
promo.
anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. It's the whole kit and caboodle. Like literally, there's a studio sending my wife a microphone today because they want to use their microphone. They ask you, I have all my studio specs set up. You have to know how to connect via Source Connect, Zoom, any sort of connect. I mean, we have to be almost full-on audio engineers now.
Yeah, but we're not like full-on editing and like, well, sometimes, it's not. Depends on the project.
When it comes to dubbing, they're moving pieces around and doing that part of it, but we have to be able to, we have to give them, here's the answer, we have to be able to give them broadcast quality audio every single time.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
One more quick question. Do any of you guys speak Japanese? And if you do, how directly involved are you with the translating process?
No.
Nope.
0.
I only know how to say the names of judo throws.
Okay.
Ray can read a little bit of
I can
Japanese.
read Japanese. It comes up every once in a while, like if you have a cool particle at the end of a sentence or something, you're like, oh, they're putting a little more emphasis on this, or they're speaking in a feminine voice. But other than that, that's as much as we're allowed to do. They really want to stick to their translation.
I know what ramen is.
Delicious.
All right.
Good questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that answers everything. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you for the good questions. Good luck on your audio engineering career.
My God, it's super.
How did Ray get out there?
Yeah.
What? You look amazing.
Thank you. My name is Caroline.
Hi, Caroline.
So my question is, what would be, in your opinion, the best anime crossover with JJK and why?
Demon Slayer.
Bleach.
Just so you can have the double.
Yeah! In it twice.
Bleach would be rad.
Bleach.
would be so rad.
I think Uran Host Club would be an That's what it should be.
Can we turn JJK into
Oh,
Otome?
wait. Food Wars. Obviously, Food Wars.
Cursed recipes?
Yeah.
JJK cookbook when?
Peanut butter chili, no!
I think we should cross over with JJK 0 so we can all be in the movie.
Let's go. Good question, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Daza.
Hi, I'm Emily, and I was curious if you could voice any other character in the show, who would it be?
You want to steal our I was going to say, you want us to steal each other's job, and you were like that on it.
I would choose Choso. I think he's a wonderful character. I'd love to voice him.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say Toto.
Oh, that's fun.
Probably Maki, because she's so cool.
I think Panda would be fun. Just to kind of like mess around. That'd be a good one. Yeah.
Bonito Flakes.
Hi, my name is Morgan, and I was just wondering if you guys had to, for a week, wear a character's costume from Jujutsu Kaisen, like their wardrobe, but you couldn't choose your own character. Whose wardrobe would you wear for a
Panda.
week?
Sukun looks baller. That looks comfy, right?
It is super comfy.
It's just a robe. Dope.
I learned this trick. It's a women's kimono because he has 4 arms. He needs the extra arm space. That's what he wears. I would choose Mekamaru because I could be in a bathtub all day.
Eso, because I want to dress like a Chippendale.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Dahlia, and what's your favorite anime and one reason why?
Favorite anime?
Katie's gonna like this one. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go.
Berserk. Yeah.
It is a masterpiece.
My all-time favorite is a masterpiece.
Yeah, for sure. I am a longtime Slayers enjoyer. Number one, I love the lore of it. I think it's hilarious. And number two, there has still not been a character created in anime more powerful than the Lord of Nightmares. I will die on this hill. It doesn't exist. Goku, Vegeta.
There's no need to die. No one's arguing.
I'm gonna let me fight someone.
You're not in a subreddit.
Yeah. Yo, you're safe.
I'm here to defend
You're
my
safe.
opinion. Safe space. Safe space.
Today, let's pick Sailor Moon, because it's my first.
I loved Fooly Cooly from back in the day.
Yeah.
And music was absolutely phenomenal, and the fact that were you in that one, Robbie, the sequel? Yeah, we were in the second one. It was so cool to come back around for that one. So I love that.
I really liked Noragami, and I also really, I mean, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, My Hero Academia.
I was gonna name all the ones we like.
Yeah, now you're just currying favor. Good question, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're cruising, gang.
Let's
We're
go.
gonna do this.
Let's go. Speaking of My Hero.
I'm too short for this. All right.
You can
You can
Tilt it.
Yeah.
So my name is Isis.
Hi, Isis.
What anime traumatized you the most?
What anime traumatized us the most?
I have this one. I'm from a very small town in the Midwest, and we moved to a much smaller town when I was about 10. And it only had one local video store connected to like the sandwich shop. And really no sections. And there was like, this is the kids section. And in that was a little film called Ninja Scroll. And at first I was like, oh, I like ninjas, cool. And I watched it and I was like, no! And it was too much violence for my 10-year-old brain. And my mom's a good mom, but it just kind of like flew under the radar. Like if you look at it, there's nothing really too offensive on the you know, DVD or VHS jacket or whatever. And then as soon as the snakes came out, I was like, hey, where are those snakes coming from? And anybody who knows that movie knows that a 10-year-old should not know where those snakes are coming from. And yeah, that one got me. That one got me. Haunting.
Evangelion for me, it's the existential angst that gets me. And when I watched it in college, traumatized, and then I was glad to become Gendo in the Netflix redub, the bringer of the trauma. So it's come full circle for me too.
It's like therapy. You know?
Yeah, for me it's probably episode 11 of Jujutsu Kaisen when my boy Junpei just pieces out. R.I.P. Let's take a moment of silence. He should have just come to Jujutsu Tech. I invited him.
But he was in the intro.
Yeah. Dude was in the intro.
Did you know I didn't know enough about the manga, and I literally called Max and I was like, hey dude, you should audition for this Junpei guy. I think he's gonna be like a main character.
Honestly, that would be the best friend troll ever.
I'm gonna pick a different sort of traumatizing. Violet Evergarden is one of my favorite anime. And I cry every episode, like every other second of it, because it's just, it will just wrench your heart and it's so beautiful. Yeah.
I got two. I watched Elfen Lied way too early. Way too early. And then, of course, Anohana, the flower we saw that day.
Oh no!
Oh, it was devastating show. If you have not seen it, do yourself a favor.
There'll be a screening in here right after this meeting.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I'll send it to you.
Hi, my name is Sienna, and
Hi, Sienna.
I was wondering if your JJ characters were animals, what do you think they would be?
A snow leopard.
No, you just want to be a snow leopard.
Wow.
Yeah, true, also.
What would she be?
What's this? Isn't there a spider that burrows into the body of other flies and takes over their brain or something like that? That's Sukuna, for sure. Yeah.
I keep running away from it, but I'm gonna go with my gut. Just a black house cat. Just one of those ones that always puts his butthole in your face for no reason.
Megumi does that a lot.
Yeah, it's insulting. Yeah.
Season 2 spoilers. Jeez. I think Yuji would be a puppy. Like kind of smart, but also kind of dumb. He's got golden retriever.
Yeah. Listens really well.
Yeah.
But also,
But then you find him eating your couch.
I think Nobara would. She'd be like a leopard, like a jungle cat. She thinks she's like queen of the jungle.
Big cat
She's queen of the jungle.
Leopard bros.
Yo.
I have one more question. Do you prefer voicing Western shows or anime?
No comment. Next. Don't make us choose. It's an anime con.
Yo, what's up, girl?
We do like musicians.
My name is Philip.
Hi.
And
and I had a question for all the theater nerds. What is the favorite show you've ever participated in, and what was your role? And have you ever been snubbed at a theater audition?
Wait,
second half.
Have you ever been snubbed on a theater audition for a role?
Snubbed.
Oh, like didn't book it?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I haven't booked plenty.
Yeah.
I made it to the final round of the national tour of Jersey Boys right after I graduated. Yeah, it's a bum that I didn't get that one, I think. But my life would be very different and probably worse. So I've done around 60 professional union theatrical productions in my life, but I haven't done one in 15 years. I was really active from 10 to 25. And my favorite I ever did was the last show I did of my undergraduate career. Not even a professional show, just a college show. And we did a musical called Floyd Collins. I don't know if you know it. It's about a guy who gets trapped in a cave. But it's some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard. So if you want to hop on and listen to Floyd Collins, it's a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous soundtrack. And I played Floyd Collins with my best friend and roommate who played my brother. We were the two leads in it. So that was just such a magical experience. We ran it for 6 weeks. It was like one of the best shows I ever did. Yeah.
I'm from Las Vegas, and Robbie also got his master's there. And I did a production of Hamlet in a sex dungeon. One of the best experiences of my life.
Did you say Hamilton?
Hamlet.
I'm not throwing away my shot.
So I did a show called Urinetown.
I love Urinetown.
I love Urinetown. It's for those who haven't seen it. It's a show all about Pete. If that helps you want to go see it. I played a character named Hot Plates Harry, and I had Hot Plates Harry has a song in it, and I think it was like our penultimate night. I performed the song. I thought I did like the best I'd ever done that entire weekend, only to be told by the crew afterwards that my mic broke right before the song started, so you couldn't hear anything.
I would do more musicals if that happened. Should cut out right at the important part.
One of the coolest shows I've done, it was a show that none of y'all have ever heard, and it's called Bloodletting, and it is a play.
Wait, what? Bloodletting?
Bloodletting.
Oh, I know Bloodletting. Lorca.
Bloodletting, and it is a play that takes place in the Philippines, and it's about a girl who is secretly a supernatural being called an aswang, who's kind of like a take on the vampire myth. And it's like a really cool like 4-person play, and like I got to play the aswang, and we got to do it in like the Kirk Douglas Theater, so I was like, oh yay, like a really big production, but it was really cool. But so the second part of your question, the role I wish I had booked and I got called back for and I didn't get was Christmas Eve in Avenue Q in like a regional production.
That's the Dirty Puppet Show. If
Yeah,
you don't
I would
know.
love to be her.
Also a good one.
I got to do with literally all of my college best friends. We did a production of Godspell. And I think it was so fun.
Wait, who are you?
Well, technically you like play yourself, right? But in the script I was
John Baptist?
Herb.
Herb. Did you have a song?
Yeah.
What was it?
It's that the Father hears our children's call.
Look at that children's call. Yeah. Some men are born to live it.
Yeah.
You guys are nerds.
Thank you so much for your question.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
If you had a childhood hero or idol, who was it and why?
Rick Moranis. I sent him, it's the only autographs I've ever gotten. I sent him letters when I was around 7 years old, and he sent back 3 8x10s saying, "To my good pal Ray." Thank you, Rick Moranis.
You still have them?
I still have them, baby.
Do you
Yeah.
have them like up or anything like that?
I had him in my voiceover booth. Yeah, not since we moved. They're in the basement right now, but that's he's my guy. He's my celeb.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker, yeah, he was like, Mark Hamill was I was a huge Star Wars kid, but a legit kid. I was so into it, yeah. And I worked with him several times in Spider-Man. He plays Baron Zemo and all the Marvel stuff for forever. And I've worked with him a couple other times, and I have never been able to muster up the brass to ask for a picture. And everybody else does it all the time. I was in studio with him for 4 hours, and I couldn't even go like, Mark, can I get a picture? I just can't do it. Someday.
Dude, I'm gonna help facilitate that.
Someday.
I'm
Someday.
gonna help facilitate that.
Yeah.
I love Jackie Chan, Time Traveler, and Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yes.
Surf Ninjas. Shout out.
Yeah,
Surf Ninjas. Kwansu dudes.
Yeah, it was also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too.
Yeah.
Kato.
No, not Kato.
Yeah.
Chemo.
Chemo. Thank you.
Sorry.
It's good. No, please. These are real nerds.
And Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was another one. Yeah. So.
Good old Bruce.
Lea Salonga.
Yes.
She's Miss Saigon, the singing voice of Princess Jasmine and Mulan. Yeah, she's a big inspiration for me.
Yeah.
The original cast of the Power Rangers.
Oh.
Yo.
I don't know. I still to this day don't know what to say around those people. Like I've like worked with some of them now, but like every time I see one of them, I'm just like, oh my god. I freaked out so bad the first time I met Jason David Frank, the original Green Ranger. It was at a Anime Vegas, and I don't know why. This was my first reaction. I was like, oh my god, it's such an honor to meet you. Can you kick me in the leg? It's on YouTube. You can actually find it. It's like if you just Google my name and then I think like Kick of Doom or something like that. It actually happened twice. He kicked me in the thigh, but then no one was recording, and it was one of the worst pains I ever felt in my life. So of course we did it again, and he was like really amped to do it. He's like, yeah, let's do it. And he's like, you know, he's a huge dude. All right. So he kicks me once in the leg. It gets purple, and then he kicks me again in the other leg, gets purple, and then, you know, I couldn't walk for the rest of the day, but it was like one of the greatest days of my life, right? And then at the same event, Johnny Bosch pulls me aside later and was like, do you know how lucky you are that he did not snap your legs in two? You should be in the hospital right now. Think twice maybe because he really likes kicking people.
Yeah. Word of the street is he's like the Steven Seagal of cons.
Thank you.
Did you know that Steven Seagal came to my Aikido school when
Did
I
he?
was in high school and just threw a bunch of people around just hurt people on a wooden
Hello, Ganyu.
Hi. Hi, my name is Angela. First question, am I allowed to give a gift to the voice actor?
Please keep it to one question.
No, is it?
I will allow that.
What is it?
This is for Ann Yakto. One of my roommates has a...
One question. Is it poisoned?
No, it's not actually.
Oh, nice.
No, it's not actually.
Then it's her.
Yeah.
No, it's not actually.
Do you have another question before you try to give this?
Yes, I do. How you guys are liking Portland, by the way?
What was that?
How are you liking Portland?
Yeah, Portland.
It's amazing. The food is amazing. I don't think you guys have one bad restaurant in Portland. Seriously. Okay. Well,
Shout out to Joe Signs on Northeast Powell Street who printed my banner on Veterans Day yesterday. Yeah, they're the best. I lost it on the plane. Joe Signs, baby.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
This is a great part of the country. I feel like you guys are just kind of nice. Maybe it's the bad weather. I don't know.
I think the weather's been refreshing. Look,
It is
we're
nice.
in LA.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
This will be our last question.
Wait, no. We're finishing. Yeah.
Lightning round.
Hi, my name is Jace.
Hi, Jason.
This question got brought up earlier, but it wasn't the actual question, but I thought it was really cool. How do you think your characters in Jujutsu Kaisen would fare in the My Hero universe, or UA specifically?
My Hero universe?
Gojo was sweet.
Our characters kill people. We'd murder those kids. They'd all die. There'd be no more academia. It would just be my dead heroes.
You have a quirk?
Yeah.
We have curse energy.
Blood manipulation. Go back to school. Froppy, frog legs.
This is an official.
doesn't need another reason to cry.
This is an official declaration of war from the JJK cast to the My Hero cast. Sorry.
Next question, thank you. We'll get through them all.
Yep.
Hello, my name is Dylan.
Hi.
Hi, Dylan.
And Adam already told me yesterday, and I think Ray already said it, but what was like the worst show, movie, or game that you worked on that you were just begging for it to end, and then you wake up in night terrors at night?
Butter snacks and gumbles.
Butter snacks and
Zombie strippers.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
I worked on this live action, like Malaysian show that was just hot garbage, and I will not tell you the name of it because it is really bad, and don't watch it even though I'm the lead.
Shame yourself.
Please.
Shame yourself. I already told him my answer the other day.
Okay, good, perfect.
Yeah.
Good question.
Thanks, Dylan.
2 more, let's hit this.
Hi, my name is Kat. Earlier you guys mentioned that you have to sacrifice 16 chickens. What happens if you sacrifice 17?
What was the question?
What happens if you sacrifice 17? You become an on-camera actor.
Yeah. You become a chicken.
Yeah. Beware. Thank you. Yeah. See?
Andrew, and let's end this on a chaotic note. So, out of your like characters, of all the characters you voice, who, like, what of all of them would? Okay, so from your JJK characters, who of the characters you already voiced, who would they hang out with?
Who would we hang out with of all the characters that we voice?
No. Your JJK characters hang out with like any of the characters you voiced.
Sorry, somebody else that we played. So
any of our
who would Megami hang out with?
That you've already voiced.
Yeah, characters that you voiced.
Our JJK characters, who would they hang out with via the characters we've voiced outside of JJK?
I think Yuji might hang out with Shifuyu from Tokyo Revengers. And he'd be like, you're in a gang, that's weird. And then he'd just leave.
Yeah, I think now that Noctis is dead, I think that Prompto needs a new grumpy boyfriend. So
It would be a good match.
Yeah.
I think Sukuna and Master of Masters would talk a lot about how to plot in extra domains and things like that.
So Gojo and Dazai were the greatest TikTok channel in existence.
TikTok channel.
Oh, damn it, I don't know. Look, she's a girl boss, so she'd probably hang with Red and Shogun and they just like, watch
Oh,
she
yeah.
go down from the thing from Daimya.
good question.
Yes.
Gang, everybody, thank you so much for coming. The 5 of us will be doing more panels. We'll be signing all weekend. But before we let you go, let's hit them all outside to inside, ending with our MC. Hit them with that domain expansion, gang. Go, KG. Come on, boss.
Domain expansion, infinite void. Domain expansion, malevolent shrine.
I'm going with straw doll technique, resonance!
Domain expansion, chimera shadow garden.
Divergent fist!
Thank you, everybody.